Mike Owens with Inside Fighting, and it's always a pleasure to be joined by Mansur Abdul Malik, who returns to action at UFC Seattle. He was supposed to face Antonio Tricoli. He now faces Nick Klein. Mansur, always a pleasure, my man. How are things at you today?
Thank you, my brother, for having me.
How are your emotions ahead of your return?
The emotions are even, not too high, not too low. I'm just very, very neutral right now, and that's how it's supposed to be. The emotions kind of get shut off now. I mean, they're pretty much shut off throughout camp, throughout my life, but right now they're even more, they're even more neutral, even more calm. Right now, I'm just focused on my actions and just staying calm.
You made your UFC debut in the Apex, the same location where you got your Contender Series contract. You now make almost your graduation into the UFC with to be able the ability to fight in front of fans, in front of a what will be a sold out stadium in Seattle. Just your emotions ahead of that and making your return to a packed out arena.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. But honestly, it literally means nothing. I could fight in front of one person, or I could fight in front of 50,000 people. It literally makes no difference. I'm going to be focused on really myself, not even the opponent inside of there, but I just know it's going to be him, it's going to be the referee, and it's going to be me. That's all that matters. So the fans, I'm excited to feel that energy, not necessarily pay attention to them, but to feel the energy on the walkout, to feel that good motivation, that good feelings, because I feel like if your mind is in the correct space, then that stuff can really take you to another level. But if your mind is in the wrong space, then it can bring you down. It can make you less of yourself. But I feel like, and I know for a fact that it will make me into a better version of myself, along with training, along with my diet, along with all the improvements that I've made since the last fight. I feel like it can only be a benefit to me, God willing.
As much as you said it doesn't make too much of a difference in terms of the fight, fighters fight to fight in front of fans to entertain the
Hmm.
people. That's where this originated from. Is there
Yes.
a dream fight location or arena or place that you would like to fight that's on that bucket list before it's all said and done?
I would love to fight in Saudi Arabia. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two is I'd love to fight in London. That O2 Arena, that's something else. That's something else. And it's very, very, very passionate fans over there. And I would love the opportunity to fight over there, as well as MSG. I think those are top three.
You're not just saying London because you know I'm a Brit.
I might be, but I actually really, really, really enjoy like the scenery of London. A lot of people say, oh, it's cloudy, the weather, whatever. I think the complete opposite. Ever since I was little, I love like the romanticized idea of like it kind of being like a little bit gloomy sometimes. It might be gray some days, it might rain some days. It's really cold. I love that. I love that, man. It's a very beautiful thing if you really understand scenery and places. So I feel like I do, and I really, really enjoy that place as well as the people. I think it's very, very passionate fans over there.
Yeah. Well, if you ever get the opportunity to fight in London or in the UK, then I can certainly be your tour guide for pre and
Absolutely.
post fight. But let's talk about this fight coming up. As I mentioned, it's a replacement opponent. I know you only found out a couple of days ago. Just so your
Yep.
overall reaction to that and ultimately to the style change that you'll be facing in a couple of weeks' time.
Zero reaction. Zero reaction. Matter of fact, I got the contract and I didn't even know who it was at first. But then when I knew who it was, I did my due diligence. I studied, I focused as I'm doing now, and that's it. I know the name, even though that doesn't matter. I know his height, I know his reach, I know his strengths, I know his weaknesses. I know the things that he's gonna come into the fight with. I understand it. I realize it. I understand and realize that his last fight, he's a completely different fighter than he's gonna be now. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I'm prepared for every single scenario. That's what we do. We don't focus on one opponent. We focus on me. We focus on my strengths. We focus on adapting to the different challenges and the different things that might happen. It could be a new venue. It could be a new weight, new opponent. Someone could break a nail. Anything could happen. So you need to be ready for all of these things. And I feel like I am ready. I feel like I am prepared. And I know that I'm going to go out there, God willing, and get a good victory.
Are you a big watcher of tape when you prepare for your opponents? Are you somebody who likes to
Absolutely.
study their styles? And what advantage do you feel
Absolutely.
like that gives you?
I feel like it gives me a very big advantage in getting familiar and as humans, right? As humans, we sort of have like a perception of things that we don't understand as soon as it happens. Let's say you walk into somewhere new. Okay, I don't understand this place, so I'm going to act. a little bit different. My body language might be a little bit different. I'm not as comfortable as I would be if I've been in this place 100 times before. Take it to fighting. You're not as familiar with someone until you watch tape of them. Watch over and over and over again. See their tendencies, see their body language, see how they act, see how they react to certain strikes, see how they react to certain approaches, certain feints. So once you get more familiar with these things, once you do your homework, it's as simple as that. Once you do your homework and once you study for the test, you're more prepared for that test. It's literally as simple as that. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't take that step. They don't believe that it's necessary. But in terms of preparing and doing the best that I can, in terms of my efforts, this is a part of that. So I do my homework. I do my due diligence. And I'm prepared in all ways, shapes, and forms. So I feel like it definitely gives me a good advantage. But also, I don't rely on that. Anything could change. Anything could happen. I just know that I've done everything that I possibly could do to prepare.
I know that you're currently in the UFC Performance Institute, although it looks like you're in some kind of boardroom or something like that. It doesn't quite look like the PI, to be honest. But I know that you split your time between the PI, between Xtreme Couture, and probably a couple of other places in your weekly schedule. What has the training room been like in the various places you've been training, and have you made any changes throughout this camp?
Honestly, man, it all happens at Xtreme. I wouldn't even say that I split time. Like I come here and I pick up my food. I come here and I handle the things that I need to do with my amazing nutritionist team. I come here to recover, strength conditioning a little bit, and that's it. I wouldn't even say I split time, but everything happens in that gym in Xtreme Couture. I don't like to bounce between too many different places. My main focus is fighting training. It's not lifting weights. It's not ice bath and sauna. Of course, those things help, especially when it comes to making weight. But my focus is on fighting, and I stay in that gym. They got to kick me out of that gym. But I do love the PI. I do love all the things that are accessible to me as a UFC fighter, and they're all of a benefit to me if you use them in the correct ways. I would not say I live here. I would not say I'm here too often. I'm here just the right amount of time, but my focus is fighting.
Is Sean Strickland going to be in your corner for this one as he was for your UFC debut?
No. So he won't. He's gonna be over getting ready.
Right.
To
Okay.
fight DDP. Yep.
Okay. No, I just wanted to ask because there's obviously a couple of weeks difference. So, what has Sean been mirroring your opponents? Obviously, that's now changed. And have you been the guy mirroring Dricus Du Plessis in any rounds for the middleweight title contender?
Of course, we give each other certain looks. We give each other different looks when it comes to the things that we want to see, the things that we need to prepare for. So of course, that's always going to be a thing.
I've had the pleasure of stepping foot in the Xtreme Couture gym, and you don't quite appreciate the depth of the actual room until you see some of the guys going head to head, especially around that middleweight, light heavyweight bracket as well. Very strong bracket around the featherweight, bantamweight range, but also that 185 to 205 pound. Can you just talk about some of the guys that you've been training with in the lead up to this one?
Absolutely. Of course, Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis, Edmund Shabazian, Brad Tavares. Big benefit to me. Hopefully he'll be in my corner as well. I'm looking at him being in there as well. And you have so many different names, man. Even in light heavyweight, even heavyweight, even welterweight, some big welterweights. Zell Huber, he's a big one that I've been working with. So I have an amazing array of people that I've been able to work with this camp, and it's only been a benefit to me, man. And in addition to that, they're great men as well. No negativity, no excessive ego. Everyone's here to help. Everyone's here to train. Everyone's here to get better. Of course, it's competitive. Of course, we're trying to beat each other. Of course, we're trying to make improvements and improve ourselves as individual fighters. But no one's trying to hurt each other, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Is it motivating having somebody in the gym preparing for a world title fight in the division that you fight in? Because I imagine he is literally preparing for the thing that you are preparing to one day hold. I imagine that must be something that you can put a flag in your mind to go, if that guy can do it and I'm training with him, then why can't I one day?
Man, it's like I'm training for a world title fight as well. And it's not a joke. It's like I can have that vision and have that idea that I'm fighting in 5 rounds on a pay-per-view card in the main event. It's literally how I feel. Just by looking at him, just by seeing him, just by seeing the focus that he has, just by seeing the real, true championship level preparation that he has, I feel like it's secondhand, but I feel like I'm getting ready for the same thing. I swear to God. And that only puts me in a different bracket and a different level preparing for my fight as well. So it's a wonderful thing to be a part of. And I'm grateful that Sean Strickland has been able to exhibit that so I can see that, because this is how it needs to be.
I know that you won't want to give your teammates game plan away, but what do you feel like loosely are some of the keys that Sean needs to implement against Dricus to get the win in this rematch second time around?
100%, just being himself. If you look at Sean Strickland as a contender, like objectively as a contender, when he fought Izzy, he's an animal. He didn't care. Pressure, forward. He was himself. Activity, a high work rate. He needs to do the exact same thing. And not that he didn't do that when he fought DDP the first time, but just get back to it. Just get back to being himself a little bit. There's no pressure. And he is in that position. He's trying to get that title back. So we'll see. But I feel like he just needs to be himself.
It really feels like it's middleweight main event season over the next 6 or 7 weeks. I think there's 4 middleweight main events. And as a guy who studies the game, I wanted to get your quick predictions on some of these. So obviously on Saturday we have the fight between Israel Adesanya and Nassourdine Imavov. How do you see that one playing out?
I see Izzy getting it done. I definitely see Izzy getting it done. But I think it's gonna be a chess match, man. Those are two guys that are very, very good at striking. They're very good at striking. Their takedown defense is there. Imavov has maybe a little bit better grappling in terms of what we've seen. But it's going to be beautiful, man. It's going to be beautiful. It's definitely going to be interesting, and it's definitely going to be exciting. I'm interested to see how that one plays out, because those guys are big middleweights as well. They're not small. They have that range. They have the height. They have the frame. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out when those two meet.
Though, and then the week before your fight, Jared Cannonier gives Gregory Rodriguez his opportunity in the top 15. What do you think? How do you see that one going?
I got Cannonier. I got Cannonier for sure. I just feel that he's maybe a little bit more experienced, and definitely a little bit more technical. I definitely I'd like to use the word sturdy middleweights when it comes to their frame. They're definitely in shape. They're definitely prepared to go. They're definitely a little bit older, but I'm interested to see how it will play out. I definitely feel like Cannonier has a technical advantage, but we'll see.
And last one from me, and apologies because I know that both of these guys have spent time in your gym, so I don't want you to, have any clashes, let's say. But Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze in the rematch.
I got Dolidze. Yeah. Maybe not for. Of course the grappling. Of course the grappling is there. I think it goes all the rounds. But I definitely feel Dolidze edges him. I don't want to speak badly about any, but yes. I feel like Vettori is just. I mean, he mentioned it maybe even in a tweet. Forgive me if I'm speaking like wrongly, but I think he said something to the effect of he's on his way out. Maybe someone wants to fight him, something like that. So even with putting that out there, I can only see that as evidence. He's maybe on his way to checking out a little bit. Maybe. I could be wrong, but, I feel that Dolidze is still there. He's still there. He wants it. And Vettori probably wants it as well. But, with that evidence of that tweet, maybe he's on his way out. Maybe he doesn't want to be here anymore.
I love chatting with you, Mansur. I love getting you on the show because you're such a deep thinker. You give such a thoughtful answer to all of my questions. And I know that going through this camp, there will probably be something that you are meditating on, maybe a quote or a saying or a kind of ritual throughout this camp. Can I ask what is the thing that you're meditating on throughout this camp?
Absolutely. And I think it's been a few. I think it's truly been a few. Always, of course, being in the UFC, I just want to make sure every performance is better than the last. Every single one. I never want to be someone that's stagnant. Okay, we get here. Now it's just time to get in shape and then we fight. Get that out of my face, man. I'm in here to get better. The same way, the same vigor and that same fire within my heart as a beginner. Someone that is horrible. Someone that has no technique. You just want to get better. And that's what I want to do. Every single fight. Every single day in practice. That's what I want to do and that's what I want to focus on. But I've been focused on a lot within myself. Improving my flexibility. I'm close to being able to do the full splits. That's something that I really want to do. And I have like these small checkpoints, these small benchmarks in my mind. Flexibility is one. Always focused on having fun, man. I love it. I never think about the crowd. I never think about the event. Forget that, man. Like, no matter if it's small, no matter if it's large, I'm always just focused on having fun and enjoying this moment. And then in addition to that, I feel one is that really, really appreciating it, man. Really, really appreciating it. I feel that in today's day and age, especially with Instagram and seeing other people's lives and other people's stories and all this stuff, you can just get away from being grateful. Being grateful. How many people, this is a rhetorical question, but how many people get to do what they enjoy? Very few. How many people get to do what they enjoy at the highest level? Even less. How many people get to do what they love, do it at a high level, and then also love to appreciate it and just love to be in the moment? Forget everything else, forget the future, forget the past, just be present, truly, truly be present, and not just talk about it. That's a completely different category. And I just want to be in all three of those categories. And I just want to make sure that I'm grateful for this opportunity and I'm grateful for the chance to be here, because we only get to live this life once and we only get to be in this situation and opportunity for a certain amount of years. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, go as hard as I possibly can, achieve all of my goals, God willing, and just let the rest fall where they may, and one day get a farm somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Very, very, very well said. Last question from me. When you wake up on the 22nd of February in Seattle, talk me through what a perfect day looks like from morning to night on fight day.
A perfect day starts with me waking up, praying to the good Lord, getting some water in my system, hydrating, stretching, treating it as another day, because it is another day. Man. There's no difference. I'm just going to wake up, see that Seattle sky, appreciate the scenery, appreciate the people, appreciate every single person that's been helping me on this journey, show gratitude, be respectful, walk like I'm the man, because I am the man, but I also know that I don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, this is a fight. It's another day. This means nothing to anyone else unless I'm able to exhibit the mannerisms and be the person that can help someone else. That's what I truly want to do. That's what I really want to do. Even in the moments that I truly enjoy of fighting, being inside of that cage, I just want to conduct myself in a way that's conducive to the man that I want to be in the future. And I just want to inspire someone the same way that I've been inspired by other people, the same way that I used to look at highlight videos of other people and be inspired and have wide eyes. And even though I still do that, and be inspired and be that moment for someone. Be that, not in an arrogant way, but be that moment for someone. Be that spark. Be that spark that someone sees and they think to themselves, if he did it, I can do it. Maybe even better. So if I can do that, thank God. So that's all I want to do, man. That's a perfect day to me. Having that good energy, having that good mind frame, being focused on fun and being myself and not changing anything, being a professional about my day and going out, God willing, getting a beautiful win.
Very, very, very well said, and the best place for us to end. Mansur, thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure catching up. Have a great and safe rest of camp, and best of luck for the fight if we don't speak before.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.